of the Ninjala anime, we have one objective. And that is to watch Best Girl Lucy. That's it. Also, I'm drinking black coffee today because I was out of creamer. It's weird. I don't usually drink black coffee. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and all the court gamers out there. CAJ Man 777 here, and obviously you guys know exactly what we're doing. We're talking about the latest Ninjala anime episode, and honestly, this is probably going to be, I would say, one of the shortest ones that we've talked about, because nothing really crazy happens in this one until the very end. Not a lot of lore bombshells, not a lot of things with the big WNA Academy or anything happening like that. That was on the last episode. This episode was just all about a little bit of fun and have, establishing more relationships between the characters and just having a fun little time with it. So if you guys, of course, are enjoying these discussions of the Ninjala anime episode and you want to see more, you guys know what to do. Just hit that like and subscribe button. And without further ado, let's get started into the Ninjala anime episode, because I didn't know they were going to do this, but basically the episode starts off how any other episode has started off in the academy, where they get up and they walk. They get up from the little ninja assistant dudes, and they say, hey, you guys got a day off. Go out, have a good time, relax. And that's exactly what a lot of characters do. Oh, come on now. Oh, she was thinking about it. They both want to hang out with each other, but they're just not sure if they should. Oh my gosh. Two-handed cuff.
自分でも驚いているよ。運動してお腹いっぱい食べてたっぷり寝るとこんなに元気な毎日を送れるんだって。寝るっち寝るっち。あ、ガムッチ。バトッチバトッチ。バトッチって僕のこと？じゃあベレッカは？ベレッチベレッチ。ちょうどよかった。ガムッチについてはいろいろと調べたいことが。
ドジッチじゃないよ、カッペイン。ドジ踏むことが多いからドジッチか。うるさいな。
They still have the rivalry even though they're hanging out. I love that.
僕の特製スムージーをご馳走したんだけど。
We get an opening scene, obviously with Emma and Lucy, and they're all just kind of chilling. Emma's like, okay, what do I want to go do? What does Lucy want to go do? You see a lot of characters, and they're just thinking about each other. And you have to remember that Lucy's like bunk area is below Emma's, so they're literally like, Emma climbs down a ladder and she basically sees Lucy every morning, and basically the main point of this episode focuses around Lucy and Emma, and we do get some returning characters as well, which is really neat, again establishing some lore. But basically they both wake up and Emma's like, okay, maybe I'll go out and go dance, and Lucy's like, I don't know what I'm gonna go do, I'm basically just bored. Lucy was thinking, maybe I'll go visit my parents, and she's like, oh, they're so far away. Maybe I won't, so maybe Lucy will stay here. But ultimately, they both decide to end up leaving the academy for the day and just kind of relaxing. We jump over then to Bert and Bereka, who are having breakfast, and they're talking about how does it feel now that we're kids and we're back on a normal schedule. Burton goes, it feels great, and then obviously Burton asks the same to Bereka, and Bereka goes, I just need more sleep. Ever since we turned back into kids, It's basically just been nonstop. And that's true. You have to establish, basically, ever since they turned into kids, within a few days, they obviously were running from the Oniwa Banshu. They got into the academy. They snuck over to the WNA headquarters. So, like, there's a lot that's been already established with Burton and Bareka, and I'm kind of glad they took a backseat in this episode. But it's nice to, catch up on them, and it's like, hey, how you doing? And this is why we know, they're teaming up with Gen Ryusai from the last episode and stuff like that, so. And that's basically the end of what happens in the academy. What I really like is the next scene, though, because we get reintroduced to Warren. As Emma's walking down the street, she wants to go dance, and Warren sees Emma. And they kind of catch up, and they kind of talk to each other. Oh, hey! Oh my god, I did not think we'd see them again.
アカデミーは楽しい？
まあまあかな。
友達できた？
別にいらないし。
今日はお休みでしょ？どうやって過ごすの？
ダンス。
念のために言っておくけど、
忍者ガムはアカデミーの外では使用禁止でしょ？
うん。
それと、しばらく貴族はやめるつもり。
その方がいいかもね。
もしかしてそれを伝えに？
そういうわけじゃ。
I don't know about that, Warren.
別にいいけどね。
Cut over to Van and Cappe, and they basically also take a backseat in this episode, and they are just running all day. So they're they meet up with each other and like, what are you doing here? And they start, heading off in the same direction. They're like, stop following me, blah, blah, blah. They take a backseat. The main focus is on Emma and Lucy in this episode. So Van and Cappe end up just kind of like running next to each other all day.
カッペ、ボン。こんなとこで何してんだ？別にいいだろ。じゃあな。お。なんでついてくんだよ。そっちこそ。俺はもともと。
Oh my gosh. This is just a fun episode. Cut back over to Emma dancing, and once again, her super hearing picks up something that is pretty dang shady. Oh, that shot was actually sick. Well, that guy looks familiar. So Emma picks up that someone's boosting a truck, and then they're gonna basically steal and go for an electronics warehouse. But Emma told Warren earlier that, hey, I put my vigilante stuff kind of in the background. Not today, because today is a different situation. But then we cut over to the scene where the truck is actually being boosted, and Lucy the whole time has been on the roof, kind of just relaxing, not knowing what to do. But she sees the truck being boosted, and ultimately, later she jumps on top of that truck and rides it to Emma's location after Emma confronts the group of thugs. Now, if you guys are familiar with some of the character models, one of the thugs is the dude with red hair. He's got red hair on the top and like gray on the sides. He appeared in a previous episode. I believe he was in the alley, if I'm not mistaken, with Burton and Bareka earlier when they initially turned into kids in the first episode. Lucy saw the whole thing. What Emma heard, Lucy saw. Even without the ninja gum.
ピックアップトラックはどうなってる？それが
She's still on the roof. With all their training at the academy, these kids are able to just easily dispatch these thugs. So Emma dispatches the first two, and Lucy, being crazy, literally on top of a truck, drives into the scene. And this is where things get interesting, because now suddenly Warren is watching from the background Emma and Lucy, and Emma and Lucy are pretty much ready to fight everybody. But what ends up happening is that Warren gets surprised by a gun, actually, like in the coat pocket from another thug who comes up behind Warren. So the thug obviously uses Warren as leverage and gets Emma and Lucy to kind of surrender. Oh my god, Lucy just straight up is punching people. And then they get put into a warehouse and tied up with a metal chain. That's a bad idea, because with a quick usage of Lucy's power, ends up, getting them out of here easily with the chain. With her power hidden behind the eye patch, by the way, still. She's able to use her power with her eye patch, hiding it now, as well. So meaning that she probably has more control over it after being trained at the academy. Some more, which is really nice to see. So they end up freeing themselves, and they go free Warren. And Warren's like, well, I could have freed myself, but I wanted to see how you two handled the situation. So obviously, Warren trying to get, obviously Warren's a ninja descendant, so obviously Warren trying to get Emma and Lucy to work together and use their powers for the betterment of the world, which is the purpose of the WNA.
そんなことしてんの？別に。ただ、どうぞ、みんなを笑顔にしたい。それだけ。へえ、かっこいいじゃん。笑顔か。化け物。
Oh, come on now.
ルーシー？じゃ、そろそろ行こっか。え？どこに？決まってんじゃん。悪い奴らをやっつけにだよ。
The confidence she exudes, and her power is very overpowered. I'm not even gonna lie.
もしかして最初からこうすることができたの？うん。でもそしたらつまんないじゃん。
たとえ拳銃を突きつけられても、あんな奴らには負けない。
Warren's pulling out kunai.
見てみたくて。
なんで？
あなたたちに期待してるから。
So they end up freeing Warren and everybody, and then the thugs, obviously, they manage to go off and they sell all that stolen stuff. So they don't actually, like, necessarily, I would say, get fully brought to justice quite yet. Until they walk back to the warehouse, because the thugs are like, okay, we have to finish them off, because they'll be able to ID them. And here are standing Lucy, Emma, and Warren. And they're like, oh, and Lucy just taunting them the entire episode, by the way. Lucy is, like, antagonistic in a crazy way, where she's like, I can, like, stand up to any challenge kind of thing. And it's nice to see the confidence exuding from her character, and then Emma's, like, calm demeanor in her agile movement, being able to allow her to move pretty much everywhere. But Lucy basically goes, you can't tie us down with this. And they want to go take out the thug. They want to go start to take out the thug. So the dude that threatened Warren with the gun in his pocket, he's like, oh yeah, what are you gonna do about it? And now Warren gets a little bit of self-revenge and absolutely just wrecks this dude with a gut punch, knocking him out cold immediately. Oh, Lucy's angry. Oh boy. Oh, that's actually one hell of a gut punch. That's actually one hell of a gut punch. And so Warren then backs up and goes, yeah, you two can handle the rest. And Emma and Lucy look at each other, and Emma just goes, well, you could help out. And it's a funny scene. But then we get Lucy running over to a scrap pile. And guess what gets pulled out?
あとは2人に任せるわ。
別に任せてくれなくてもいいんだけど面倒だから
Oh my god!
他一人で遊んでやんよ。
二人でやる方が早い。
Lucy just finds it in just like a scrap pile? Okay. No wonder why it's called the scrap saber. And Lucy starts fighting with the scrap saber, basically without the gum attached to the one end of the scrap saber, which I think will happen a little bit later. And they just absolutely destroy these people. Lucy fighting, and the thugs are bringing out metal poles against Lucy and stuff too. And without ninja gum, by the way. They're not even using the ninja gum because it's prohibited outside the academy, as we established in the last episode with Burton and Bareka. But Emma and Lucy, again, their WNA Academy training has been going already so well, and they already have such natural gifted powers that they're just able to kind of smoke these dudes. Confidence, again.
追っ始めようよ。
The confidence.
そんなににらめっこが好き？
Dude, imagine actually getting hit with a metal stop sign like that. You are probably just bones are breaking, okay? And Emma obviously is very evasive in her fighting style, where Lucy's very straightforward. I don't know if I'm a big fan of the motion blur as much, but... Or the blur they have, but that is actually kind of neat. And that's basically the whole day for Emma and Lucy, because at the end of the day, obviously, they meet up on the dock. The dock should look familiar. They've used the location a few times. Obviously, for Emma's vigilante stuff, for Jane's stuff. The Eagle City docks in Comerica seem to be a really popular place to have ninja just suddenly ambush you. Or have, big emotional scenes. Which I think is funny, but it also, again, saves animators a lot of time, because they don't need to use the full time. And Warren just basically goes, oh, why don't you two be friends? And they're not really, Lucy and Emma, they're like, oh, well, we're not really friends. They talk, and Lucy goes, well, I'd rather settle this here and now. I'd rather have a little duel here and now. Obviously, Lucy's having a little bit of her crazy personality is really funny. But obviously, Warren's explaining it would be so much easier for you guys at the academy. It'd be so much easier for your lives if you guys had a friend, because you guys have just been brought into the academy and you almost know, like, nobody. The only characters that really know each other in the academy are Burton and Bareka. So that's really kind of the big thing. Like, I guess Kappa and Gumchi, technically, you could count. Kappa and Van have a rivalry in a way where it is like a friendly rivalry, where they're constantly trying to one-up each other. So they kind of have that. But Lucy and Emma are kind of off on their own, and obviously that's what Warren explained. She's like, hey, again, these strangers have been brought in from all over the place, from different walks of life. You're all ninjas. And it's like, what, you guys need to work together or just have a relationship, or else you're gonna find life at the academy pretty bad. But Lucy and Emma are like, okay, that's okay. And Lucy goes, I'd rather duke it out with Emma instead. And then they have this really cool, like, showdown scene. They put it on the edge of the dock, and you see Lucy's eye light up. Emma's tapping her foot as she was when they were fighting the thugs, and they're like ready to duke it out, and just a gust of wind knocks them both over. And I think they did the characters justice, right? You can only fit so much in like a 24-minute episode, and I think they did Emma and Lucy enough justice in this episode to really justify, hey, they're a lot closer than you think now with this episode. And we get flashbacks to all the rest of the characters as well. Van and Kappa coming back to the academy. They've literally been running all day, so it's a sunset, and they're just like, okay, we'll stop walking. And they end up getting back to the academy, and it cuts to the next day after that. And they're back in their academy class, and again, they show the pairs of characters. They show Van and Kappa, they show Burton and Bareka, and they show Emma and Lucy. And it's just a really neat thing. They both kind of glance at each other. They both look out the window and smile. And it's a really neat way to end their portion of the episode. But it's not the full end of the episode. Because what ends the episode itself is two characters looking at the WNA Academy from distance. And it is the kid forms of Ron and Jane. And then the episode ends. It's a little off model there. No shot! We don't even get to see it? Oh, come on now! So my question is, did Ron have ninja gum? Did he come prepared after the Oniwan Bashu led them into the exploding building and then they hid as kids? And we might find some of that out in the next episode, because in the next episode, Ron and Jane are going to the academy, and they're going to add them to the current class of 6 that we have. So now all the characters are finally going to be in the same place, and I'm very interested to see the reaction that Bert and Bereka have to Ron and Jane to end the episode. Or that it's going to be in the next episode. But overall, I think the episode was just really good. There were a few shots that kind of bugged me. The one last shot that they show with Lucy and Emma looking out the window, Emma's head is clearly off model, and it bugs the heck out of me. I even mention it. Lucy, not so much off model on the angle, but Emma's definitely a little bit off model. It's like they didn't center her face drawing a little bit. Like, it's a little too much. That's a small gripe, though. It's nothing big. But in terms of what they did with the episode, I think it was really good. I think it was really sweet. I think it was really cute. And I'm excited to see where it goes. I mean, we still have so many more episodes of the Ninjala anime to go. And again, I don't know what I'm going to do after, all the episodes are done. I don't know what I'm going to do after all the Ninjala anime episodes are done. Obviously, Ninjala Season 9 started yesterday. The day the episode actually came out at night. So, obviously, I have a lot of Ninjala Season 9 stuff to do this season, as well as the anime episodes. So, I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy with what was going to happen over the next few weeks in terms of content and everything like that. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know this one was a bit shorter, but I appreciate you guys taking the time, because there's not too much lore. There wasn't too much lore or anything to talk about here, but I appreciate you guys taking time out of your day to come watch this video. Of course, if you guys enjoyed this episode of the Ninjala anime discussion, or if you just kind of enjoyed this little recap, you guys know what to do already. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button so we can reach 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We're almost at 2.75 thousand now subs, so any support goes a long way. Liking, subscribing, and even sharing the videos with your friends, that's another big thing. Even share the video on other places. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this. I will see you next week for the next episode recap of the Ninjala anime, and I will see you guys as well in my other videos, whether that be Ninjala content for Season 9 or other things that I might have planned. Wink, wink. But yeah, that's all I have to say. And until then, this is CAJ Man 777 signing off. Stay safe, everybody.